Have you ever driven by something 1,000 times, yet really never seen it? That is how I feel about the Skone barn of Carver County, Minnesota. Most people know where Minneapolis and St. Paul are. Carver County is part of the Southwest metropolitan area. There is also a city of Carver along the Minnesota River in Carver County. The Jonathan Carver Parkway branches off Highway 212 near Carver, where it winds its way across the Minnesota River to Jordan. Just beyond the intersection where the Jonathan Carver Parkway branches off County Road 40 lies the Skone barn. This is what the barn looks like from the road, covered up in metal siding and roofing. Overall, it doesn't really jump out at you. Here is the Warner and Foote 1880 Carver County plat map. The red line shows the road southwest of the village of Carver. John D. Skone had a farm in this area, as did his son Charles. John D. Skone was born in Sweden in 1833 and came to America in 1852, when he would have been 19 years old. He married Annette Benson on July 3, 1854. John was a contractor as well as a farmer. Charles was John and Annette's oldest son. John must have been a stonemason as well, as he won the contract to build a stone arch bridge in the village of Carver, where Main Street crossed the creek. Charles was born April 3, 1855, in Minnesota. Charles married Matilda Applequist in 1877, and the couple had several children. Census records show that Charles was a farmer, but like his father, he was probably also a stonemason. The Weekly Valley Herald of Chaska wrote that Charles Skone erected a frame barn with a stone basement in 1894. Charles would have been 39 years old in 1894. The stone for the basement of the barn likely came from the Louisville Quarry, across the Minnesota River from Carver. If you want more information about the Louisville Quarry and the local Carver area, please check out my video on the Minneapolis and St. Louis Railroad remnants from Carver to Merriam Junction. Barns are disappearing across Minnesota every year, and Louisville stone was not widely used. Louisville stone was likely used in the Main Street Bridge in Carver that was mentioned previously. This is an example of a stone arch bridge from Mendota, Minnesota. Louisville stone was used in the original Chaska and Carver railroad bridges across the Minnesota River. Louisville stone may have been used to build the St. Nicholas Catholic School and Rectory in Carver in 1876. John and Charles Skone may have helped build it. The Skone barn was likely another structure that featured the Louisville stone. Finally, the East Union Lutheran Church, which was built in 1866, used stone in its foundation, likely also from the Louisville Quarry. This 1898 Carver County plat map still shows the John Skone farm and the adjacent Charles Skone farm. 1898 was also the year that Charles sold his farm and barn, which was described as one of the finest, best arranged barns in the county. From Carver, Charles moved to Seattle, Washington, where he died in 1921. 4 years after Charles sold his farm, John also sold out and moved to the Seattle area. John died on January 20th, 1919. This is the Skone farm in 1940, 1951, 1963, 1991, and 2022. The current owner of the barn gave me a tour in the summer of 2023. Come along and see what the historic barn looks like. Thank you for coming along to look at the Skone barn. Also, thank you to the current owner, who has put in a lot of time, money, and effort into preserving this historic structure. That concludes the video. Make sure to check out my other YouTube videos and my primary website at mnbricks.com.